Much better. Okay, it's really hot up here and I'm starting to sweat, but I always sweat in my videos, so what's new? Nothing. Hey guys, it's Shay. That is not even my intro. What is happening? What's up YouTube? It's Shay. Welcome to or back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So, I should probably be doing this type of video in like February when it's closer to Valentine's Day, but well, you see, yeah, I wanted to do this video for a long time. It's just a weird timing, I don't know, and this video is just something genuinely I wanted to record. It's not for any particular reason. I've literally planned this video since like last year, so let's just get into the video. On my phone, I have a list of pros and cons of being in a relationship and pros and cons of being single. So we're gonna get right to it and talk about it. Pros of being single. First off, if you are single, you can flirt with anybody you want to, if you want to. If you're not that type of person, then you're not that type of person. But if you are, you can because you're single. Versus if you were in a relationship, you can't do that because you gotta be faithful, and that would be cheating. Well, kind of. I don't know. In a relationship, you tend to not have as much freedom that you would have if you are single, so basically you can do whatever, not whatever you want, but you can do and you can make your own decisions without consulting your significant other and being like, oh, I'm gonna do this, is this okay, or do you think this is okay, or them, or vice versa, them telling you, hey, I don't feel comfortable like you doing that, don't do that, I don't like that idea. Like, you can just be like, what do I want to do today? I want to do this, let's do it. Like I kind of already said and mentioned, you don't have to be committed to anybody. So if you, I'm not saying that you can talk to multiple people because I don't think that's the best decision, unless you're in like an open relationship or whatever. But you can kind of figure out what you want, and you can kind of figure out, like, I don't know if I'm getting the point across. See see the options here. If you are single, most likely you probably have more money because, let's face it, you have to spend money in relationships. When you're single, you probably have all the time in the world, unless you're a really busy person. I tend to be a busy person, but I do have free time. And I like hanging out with friends, like, a lot. It's one of my hobbies. If you are in a relationship, you're probably like making plans or wanting to hang out with your significant other, so your time is taken up more. So yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on to the cons of being single. So, Valentine's Day. My favorite time of the year. Whether I'm in a relationship or I'm single. That day never ceases to make me just not like it. I don't know. Can you hear the wind? Am I like out of frame? Ugh, tall people problems. So if you are single, you're probably gonna get lonely. I get lonely when I'm single. I see other people being booed up and I'm just like, you see everyone in the hallway being all lovey-dovey, people holding hands in public, or you see in movies affection and PDA. Yeah, and it gets lonely because you're like, oh, that would kind of be nice to have that, you know, to not be lonely and have someone. For number 3, I put the weirdest thing. Literally put the X emoji and then the little kissing emoji. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. If you're in a relationship and you guys are at that point, you usually smooch each other. And if you're single, no smooching. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. Why is that wind so loud? Somebody tell me, is there a tornado outside? Whoa. I wouldn't be surprised if there was. Guys, I'm gonna die in a tornado. I think I already touched on this, but when you're single, you have a lot of empty time. A lot of time where you're just sitting and watching YouTube on your bed. Then, you know, whether you see like a video or you're on social media and you see pictures of couples and you just get that desire to just wanna boo and you don't got one, that can be kind of sad, you know? This, I think, applies to ladies more than it applies to men, but I'm not saying it doesn't, but I'm just saying from experience, when you're single, a lot of more people come and they're trying to get with you. But another con being single is when you hang out with friends and then that one friend brings their significant other and you just third wheel the whole time and you're just like, and it makes you sad because you wish you had you were in a relationship and you're not, and you just sit there and watch them be happily and in love and great. It's the best feeling ever. Pros of being in a relationship. To start off, obviously you're getting attention, affection. When you're in a relationship, it can feel really nice. You can feel happy and safe. Why is it doing that? Stop. And obviously, well, I hope you're not lonely if you're in a relationship. So yeah, basically you'll have people to hang out with. Cons of being in a relationship. You, at some point, are going to have to spend money. You're either going to spend money on either buying them things or going on dates. You're going to spend it on hanging out, food, gas money. Like, it's going to happen sooner or later. My hair is so long, it just gets cut off. When you're in a relationship, you don't have as much time with your other friends, and I don't know if you guys have had this happen to you before. I definitely have. I've had friends that, you know, I used to hang out with all the time, and then they got into a relationship and they started hanging out more with the significant other, which is good and cool, and like by all means that's good. I guess you're just sitting there like, oh, Sarah's with Billy and I really wanted to hang out with Sarah. To kind of go along with that, it's harder to balance other things in your life while you have a relationship, because a relationship takes a lot of effort, more than you think it does, and even if it's a good relationship, it still takes energy, time, and money. If you have, like, if you're doing sports or extracurriculars or clubs, or you know, you're trying to keep your grades up and have a social life, and all of that starts to pile up on each other and it gets really hard. It really stinks because you want to be able to have a good relationship while you're trying to juggle all these things, and it can be really hard, but it can happen. Like, you can do it. But it can be difficult. But that totally, like, didn't happen to me a few times. Like I said, you have to have self-time and you have to work on your education and other things, so it can be difficult. The next one is basically when you're in a relationship, you're like, here, I'm giving you my heart. And there's a possibility that we could break up and you can hurt my heart. But here you go, have my heart. And that's kind of a scary thing to do. It's very vulnerable. That can be a really hard thing to do. The last one that I have for you guys is fighting, and basically not a couple fights, but it can happen, and it's more than likely destined to happen, and it's not necessarily bad if you fight sometimes. Just if it's too much, then you have a problem. But you're probably going to have arguments or disagree or be bitter or annoyed with each other, and that can be hard and stressful and kind of hard on your relationship. So that's kind of a con about relationships, is that you'll get into fights and you'll get in bad moods, and you have to deal with that on top of all the other things you're dealing with. So again, that's a con. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe by clicking that red button down below to join the family. I will see you guys in my next video. On to the bloopers. Bye, guys. Stop being a problem. I have a nice pimple right there. This looks like it's been tucked behind my ear all day, and it has been, so it looks curvy. Is this centered? I don't know. I have some pros and cons. And obviously, sometimes you will sometimes you will spit. Sometimes my mouth just says things when my brain says something else.